Brazil's payment system PIX has completely transformed the way people move money, and it's nothing short of revolutionary. Launched by the Central Bank of Brazil, PIX makes sending and receiving money faster, easier, and more accessible than ever before. In just a short time, it has gone from a new option to the most popular way of paying for everything, from a cup of coffee on the street to big business transactions. Today, let's break down why PIX is so groundbreaking, how it works, and the ways it has already reshaped daily life across Brazil. Imagine needing to send money to a friend late at night, paying your rent on the weekend, or helping a family member out in an emergency. In the past, this could have been a headache in Brazil. Traditional transfers like TED or DOC were limited by banking hours and often took hours, or even a full day to process. If it was Friday night and you needed to send money, it usually wouldn't show up until Monday morning. For many people, that delay was stressful and inconvenient, especially in a country where day-to-day expenses often depend on quick access to cash. PIX flipped that system on its head. With PIX, payments happen instantly in a matter of seconds, no matter what time it is. Midnight, Sunday morning, or during a holiday, it doesn't matter. The money shows up right away in the other person's account. This 24/7 availability has changed the way Brazilians think about money. It's no longer tied to the rigid schedule of banks. Instead, it moves at the speed of life. This isn't just about convenience, it's about trust and certainty. With PIX, there's no pending status or waiting period. Once you send the payment, it's there. People know they can count on it. And that reliability has made PIX a natural part of daily life. Street vendors, delivery drivers, freelancers, and even small farmers at open-air markets use PIX because it's quick, secure, and gives them immediate access to their money. For many, it has replaced both cash and card payments. The Central Bank of Brazil designed PIX to be universal. It isn't tied to one bank, one app, or one company. As long as you have a bank account or even a basic digital wallet, you can use PIX. That universality makes it different from private payment apps that are only available within certain networks. It ensures that everyone, from big businesses to individuals, can use the same system and trust that it works. Another key point is how PIX has reshaped business transactions. For small businesses, getting paid instantly means better cash flow and less reliance on credit. For customers, it means faster, smoother transactions. Instead of waiting for payments to clear or worrying about carrying cash, everything happens in real time. This speed has boosted efficiency across countless sectors of the economy. PIX's instant nature has also had a psychological effect. People are more willing to use digital payments when they know they don't have to wait for their money. That instant feedback creates confidence and encourages adoption. It's one of the reasons PIX caught on so quickly, reaching hundreds of millions of transactions per month in just a short time. By making money move as fast as people live, PIX has broken down one of the biggest barriers in Brazil's financial system. Instant payments have become the new normal, and they've set a standard for what people now expect when it comes to moving money. One of the most revolutionary aspects of PIX is that it's free to use for ordinary people. In a world where banks and payment companies often charge fees for transfers, withdrawals, or card transactions, PIX stands out by eliminating those costs entirely. If you want to send 10 reais to a friend or pay 500 reais to your landlord, it doesn't cost a centavo. That simple fact has made PIX incredibly popular and has opened the door for millions of Brazilians to participate more fully in the financial system. Before PIX, many Brazilians were used to paying fees for almost everything. Banks charged fees for transfers, credit cards came with annual costs, and ATMs often added extra charges for withdrawals. For lower-income people, those fees were a real burden. They discouraged people from using digital payments and pushed many to rely on cash. PIX solved that problem by making transfers free for individuals, removing the financial barrier that once kept so many people out of the system. Accessibility goes beyond cost. PIX was designed to be simple and universal. All you need is a smartphone and a bank account, or even just a basic digital account through a fintech app. You don't need to qualify for credit, maintain a minimum balance, or go through complicated processes. The system works through keys, which can be as simple as your phone number, email, or even a random code. This ease of use has made PIX friendly to everyone, regardless of age or financial background. For small businesses and vendors, this has been a game changer. A street food seller or market stall owner can now accept payments instantly without needing expensive card machines or paying card processing fees. All they need is a smartphone and a QR code. Customers benefit too, because paying is as easy as scanning and tapping. The fact that it costs nothing on either side makes it accessible to everyone, not just people with formal banking relationships. By removing fees and making the system widely available, PIX has leveled the playing field. It's no longer only people with credit cards or strong banking ties who can access fast digital payments. Millions of Brazilians who were previously excluded from modern payment systems can now send and receive money freely. This accessibility has fueled rapid adoption. From the moment PIX launched, usage spread across all parts of society. From big cities to small towns, from young digital natives to older generations. People quickly realized there was no downside. It was fast, free, and easy to use. And when something is both useful and costless, it doesn't take long before it becomes a habit. In just a few years, PIX has gone from an option to the default way of paying in Brazil. The promise of free and accessible transfers has made it a cornerstone of daily financial life. It isn't just a payment tool. It's a public utility designed to serve everyone equally, and that makes it truly revolutionary. One of the most powerful things about PIX is how it has opened the doors of the financial system to millions of Brazilians who were previously left out. For decades, Brazil had a large unbanked population, people who didn't have a bank account, credit card, or easy way to make digital transactions. Many relied entirely on cash, which limited their ability to participate in modern commerce. PIX has changed that in a dramatic way. The Central Bank of Brazil designed PIX with inclusion in mind. The system doesn't require a traditional bank account in the way credit cards do. Instead, it works with even the simplest digital wallets and accounts, many of which are offered by fintech companies with little to no fees. All someone needs is a smartphone and some form of registration, like a phone number, email, or a randomly generated key. That's it. No credit checks, no minimum balances, no barriers. This has been revolutionary for people in rural areas or lower-income communities. In the past, many of them were excluded from traditional banking because they didn't earn enough, didn't have the required documents, or simply lived too far from a physical bank branch. With PIX, they can now send and receive money instantly, without needing to carry cash or travel long distances. For many, it was their first real entry into the digital economy. Financial inclusion isn't just about having access to payments, it's also about opportunity. With PIX, small business owners, street vendors, and gig workers can now get paid instantly and securely. A fruit seller at a market can accept PIX payments without needing expensive card machines or paying processing fees. A delivery driver can be paid the moment a job is finished. These small but powerful changes give people more control over their income and make it easier to manage their daily lives. PIX has also made government transfers more efficient. Social programs and emergency aid can now be delivered directly to people through PIX without the delays or complications of old systems. During the pandemic, this was a lifeline for millions of families. Instead of standing in line at a bank or waiting for paperwork, they could receive money instantly into a PIX account and spend it right away. The impact is clear in the numbers. Within just a couple of years, more than half of Brazil's population began using PIX regularly. For many of them, this was their first experience with a modern financial tool. Suddenly, the digital economy wasn't just for the wealthy or the urban, it was for everyone. By breaking down barriers and making financial participation universal, PIX has done what decades of traditional banking couldn't. It has brought millions of people into the system, giving them access, security, and opportunity. That's why many call PIX not just a payment method, but a social revolution in Brazil. Credit cards and traditional banks used to dominate digital payments in Brazil. They charged fees, controlled access, and often excluded anyone who didn't fit their requirements. Businesses had to pay processing fees on every transaction, and consumers often faced annual card costs or hidden charges. For years, this was the norm, until PIX came along and disrupted the entire system. PIX works differently. Because it's run by the Central Bank of Brazil, there are no big corporations sitting in the middle of transactions taking a cut. When you pay with PIX, the money goes directly from your account to the recipient's account in seconds. No credit card company, no lengthy processing, no extra charges. For individuals, this means free payments. For businesses, it means avoiding the high fees that credit card networks usually demand. This has been a huge win for small businesses. In the past, many avoided accepting credit cards because the fees ate into their profits. Others were forced to raise prices to cover the costs of payment processing. With PIX, those problems disappeared. A small cafe or market vendor can accept payments instantly at no cost, making their business more efficient and profitable. For consumers, PIX also removes the need for credit in daily life. Instead of swiping a credit card for groceries, gas, or dinner, people can just use PIX and pay directly from their balance. This reduces the temptation of debt, while still keeping payments digital and convenient. In many ways, PIX offers the best of both worlds: the speed of cards without the risks, draw, and costs of borrowing. The scale of PIX's success shows just how disruptive it has been. Within 2 years of its launch, PIX transactions overtook both debit and credit card payments in Brazil. That's remarkable considering how deeply credit card companies had embedded themselves into everyday life. PIX didn't just compete, it won, and it did so by being faster, simpler, and cheaper. Banks also felt the impact. Many Brazilian banks made significant revenue from transfer fees and card services. With PIX offering free instant payments, those revenue streams started to shrink. At first, some banks resisted, but soon they had no choice but to embrace PIX themselves. Today, nearly every bank in Brazil integrates PIX directly into its apps because customers expect it. PIX essentially forced banks and credit card companies to adapt to a system that benefits the people, not just the institutions. It shifted power away from big financial players and put it back into the hands of individuals and businesses. This is why PIX feels revolutionary. It didn't just create a new payment option, it reshaped the rules of the financial game. Credit cards and banks once had the advantage, but PIX has shown that a system designed for the public can outperform even the most established players. PIX isn't just a new payment system. It's something that has woven itself into the daily rhythm of life in Brazil. In only a few years, it has become the default way people handle money, from the smallest purchases to major transactions. What's striking is how quickly it went from being an innovation to being an everyday habit. Think about the little things. A group of friends goes out to dinner. Splitting the bill used to mean fumbling with cash or making slow transfers that didn't show up until the next day. Now with PIX, one person pays the check and everyone else instantly sends their share on the spot. Delivery drivers, dog walkers, and babysitters can all be paid the moment their work is done. Street vendors selling snacks or handmade goods simply display a QR code, and customers send the payment instantly. PIX has made these everyday exchanges smoother, faster, and more reliable. The shift goes beyond convenience. PIX has helped reshape how people think about money. Carrying cash is no longer necessary for many Brazilians, especially in big cities. Even small payments, like 2 or 3 reais for a snack, are often done through PIX. That might sound minor, but it reflects a deeper cultural change. Digital payments have become a natural part of daily life, accessible to everyone, not just those with credit cards. For businesses, especially small ones, this has been transformative. Accepting card payments once required machines, contracts, and fees. Now a small shop owner can accept PIX with nothing more than a smartphone. That lowers costs, increases sales, and builds stronger trust with customers. It has also reduced the risks of handling large amounts of cash, making life safer for both vendors and buyers. PIX has even changed how people interact with institutions. Paying bills, taxes, or government fees can now be done instantly, without queues or delays. For millions of Brazilians, this has turned what used to be a frustrating chore into a quick task completed in seconds on their phone. In short, PIX has done more than create a new way to pay. It has reshaped daily routines, empowered small businesses, reduced reliance on cash, and given people more control over their financial lives. In just a few years, it has become so integrated into Brazilian society that it's hard to imagine life without it. That's what makes PIX not just a financial innovation, but a cultural one too. It has gone from being a new tool to becoming part of Brazil's daily heartbeat. It's fast, free, accessible, and it has opened the doors of the financial system to millions who were once left out. It has cut out unnecessary fees, reduced the need for cash, and given both people and businesses more control over their money. At the end of the day, PIX isn't just about technology, it's about changing lives. It shows how a smart system designed with people in mind can completely transform the way a country handles money. And in Brazil, that transformation is already well underway. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and stick around. I've got plenty more money stories coming your way.